Hi Jurgen, and all the best ahead of the new year.
Hi Winnie, and for you?
Thank you. Just to start with team news really, first of all, is Thiago fit to return? How's Minamino as well?
No. Say Taki is probably closer. Taki is running outside. Thiago not yet. Means for him it might take a little bit longer. It's a hip issue, which we actually don't have an idea where it's coming from. So we have to be a little bit patient with that. On top of that, we have 3 new COVID cases in the team and a few more in the staff. So it's not so cool in the moment. Yeah, but that's it.
Are you able to tell us who's affected by COVID at the moment?
I'm not because we still have to make the whole processes then get a proper PCR and all these kind of things. And but you will see it day after tomorrow on the team sheet. It's pretty clear then who is affected or infected. So,
are you getting anywhere near close to having to ask for the game to be postponed?
Not yet. But we don't know. We don't have, we never had this kind of proper outbreak where 10, 15, 20 players had it. For us, it's more every day, another one. Stuff happens now more and more often. So I said before, it's a little bit feels like a lottery in the morning when you stand there and you wait for the result. It was now pretty much day by day, always one case. Today another one, and we have to wait. The boys are not even in yet, so we have to wait. In this moment, probably not, but we don't know how it will look in a few hours.
Again, it almost doesn't seem right to ask this question when we're worried about players' health. But in terms of the football itself, how important do you see this game to both sides if either of you is still to catch Manchester City at the top of the table?
Yeah, look, the only chance to catch anybody who's ahead of you is to win your football games, and that's now not so easy. We play against Chelsea, a pro football team, might have similar issues like we have. I'm not 100% in the frame what exactly the situation is at Chelsea, but that's probably the case. We go there, we try everything, and it's a tricky place to go anyway. And it's Stamford Bridge is, you don't win there with an average performance, so we better should be concerned about how good we can be to play the best football game we are able to play. So we can now talk about our last game, which we were obviously not happy with. So we have to show reaction. Yes, would be nice if we would play definitely better than we did there. With all respect to Leicester, we put an incredible shift in. They deserved the 3 points, but even this game without us performing on our top level, we probably should have won the game if we would have used our chances. If we play normal, it is a completely different picture then, but we didn't. So all respect and well-deserved Leicester. And now, of course, we have to show that we can do much better, and that's what we try now at Leicester. And then we will see. There's nothing to do with City, obviously, because we cannot catch them without playing football. So we play football, try to get as many points as possible, and then we will see.
Thank you, Vinny. Okay, Premier League Productions.
Hi again. You mentioned the reaction. What kind of reaction have you seen in training since that game against Leicester?
Yeah, today's the first session we don't recover. That's the situation. So the reaction we will see today. But the boys, look, this is now. I would not even. You think it sounds a bit crazy if I would now tell the boys it's not possible what they did there and all these kind of things. So obviously my message came not clear across. So that's not clear enough across what we have to do, blah, blah, blah. Or in a game something happened, it was the penalty we missed. Then we got a bit in a rush. We never had real rhythm, but a little bit of rhythm we lost then as well. But still played good stuff in moments when we created our chances. That was absolutely good. But then the following action was not convinced enough. Maybe that's the thing. Yeah, and what I expect is a football reaction, but I would have expected a reaction if we would have won the game, because then we can make the next step and all these kind of things. So yes, I'm pretty positive about the mentality of my boys because I know them now long enough. But even when we play a top game, it's not guaranteed that we will win at Chelsea. But I think it would give us a better chance, and that's why we should try to do that.
And you mentioned Chelsea, they have been struggling for consistency, particularly in the month of December. I just wonder, how do you view their form of late compared to when you played them in late August?
Look, Chelsea had a lot of problems. I get off information from distance, injuries, then COVID. Believe me, I know you all have your own experiences with it, but when you work in a high performance surrounding, and we have to push the boys to different limits where we really try to make them fit for the right moment, stuff like this, and then you have constantly these kind of worries. It's not now like, I'm not sure how you call that, but it's not like honey leaking or whatever. It's really tricky, and they had the problems. We have the problems. If we would have won against Leicester, I think it would have been a really good December. So we didn't, and all of a sudden, because of the consistency of City, it's a difficult moment from outside. For us, not that much, because we don't expect that there's always a possibility of losing a football game. That can happen, but that's now over, and now we just have to make sure that we are really on it again. And I expect a really strong Chelsea side, because with all the struggles they have, obviously injury-wise and COVID-wise, which I don't know exactly about, they still have obviously a proper football team. And Leicester gave us a good example. When it's really intense, you have some problems, all these kind of things. If you put a proper shift in, there's always a chance in football, and that's what we will try as well.
Just a reminder, we do have a Sunday section for this as well. Therefore, I'm going to try and whip through these, and then we'll take a couple of minute daily section, and then a couple of Sunday. But in order, Juliet, followed by Carl Woodward, followed by Carl Markham. Juliet.
Hey Jurgen, is that what it is? Just picking up what you were saying about, the reaction from outside and City's dominance. You lost a game. These things do happen. We're only halfway through a season. There's plenty of catch-up time, and also, you also have lost a game as well with COVID, one of your fixtures over Christmas as well. So it's not as bad as what it's being made out to be. The reaction has been.
I don't know about the reaction, to be honest. I have no idea about the reaction, but I know how we felt. And I can tell you that the day after the game, I still felt the defeat. So that's not bad. It's not something you want to have, but it's something just shows us we don't want to get used to it. We are not used to it and all these kind of things. So that's how it is. So as a human being, as a person in the situation, you want to show a reaction. You want to have, together with your mates, together with your team mates, and that's exactly what we will try. The general situation, when you have this kind of close fight, especially with an incredible consistent team as City, it looks like they are not even a little bit faced by COVID or don't know about injury, stuff like this. So just they're in a good moment, and then it's just how it is. But because you cannot win the league properly in the winter, it's unlikely, but what they have now is a kind of a gap. It's absolutely deserved for them. But now let's just give it a go and let's play on. It's how I said, at the end of the season, one team can become champion, and somebody has to be second and third and all these kind of things. So there's a decisive moment in April. There you have to be close enough to give it a proper go, and we will see where we are then. And until from now to then, oh my God, so many games to play, so many different competitions to play, and we now have to make sure we always have enough players ready to fight and to compete.
Thank you for your time. Have a happy new year.
And for you.
Thank you.
Okay, we go to Carl Woodward from the BBC, then to Carl Markham, and then I think we'll go to the first and final section. Carl.
Hi Jurgen. You mentioned the COVID cases and Thiago still being out. Curtis Jones is back on the bench after nearly 2 months. How good is it to have him as another option now? Not just for how good he is, but being fresh in a busy period. Is that a big advantage for you?
Yeah. Fresh. Look, being out for a while, nothing keeps you fresher than the game in the right moment. And games in the right moment, because then you have a game, you have a proper intensity, then you have recovery and all these kind of things. So when you're out, then you're out for some reason. And it's better you are in. But yes, it's cool to have him back. especially with the Thiago situation, with the Naby situation from the third on, and all these kind of things. Very important for us. Really happy, and he looks good.
Thank you, Carl. And then finally, in this section, Carl Markin, if I could have a couple of hands from the daily guys. I've got Paul in. That'll probably take two more for the daily section. Yes, Carl Markin.
Hi, Jurgen. This is obviously the last game you'll have Mo, Sadio, and Naby before they go to the African Nations Cup. I mean, it's difficult replacing all of them, but it must be almost impossible to think about how you replace the contribution that Salah has had. How much have you planned for that sort of this next coming month without certainly those two of those front three?
What do we mean with planned?
Well, I mean, in terms of how he has had such an influence, has scored so many goals, made so many assists. You've got to find a way of replacing that while he's away. And I wonder how much you've thought about who can do it and how the team might have to change.
No, especially in our situation now, we know for a bit longer that the situation will be difficult, because it's not only that we lose three players, the players we have now not available for tomorrow, from a COVID point of view, will probably not be. I'm not 100% sure we will see that exactly, but some of them at least will not be available for the first Arsenal game for sure. So we have to see. So that's how you do it. You have to solve problems in football with football solutions. The football solutions will happen with the players we have available, and that's what we try, and that's what we'll do. Planned in the long term, I know exactly how we could play if all the rest is fit and healthy and available. That's no problem, and it would be a strong team and all these kind of things. But it's I don't know who is available from the third on. So let's have a look in a moment when we know about that, and then we will find a solution for we will play football games, and we will see how we get through them. But I'm really positive. It's all depends to who is available. That's how it is. So we will see.